other aggressive options in the laning phase. And we have seen the laning phase sort of coming back into prevalence here. Oftentimes you will have that first turret falling down, but then they will head back in there. And having this extra laning prowess, I just feel with Uzi now on this RNG roster, so much more important.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think there's a lot of things that RNG still have to work out. Shake off the cobwebs of the new patch as well.
Yeah.
They alluded to it before, but it could be because it's so fresh to their minds, having been at MSI for a long period of time. Everybody else in the LPL will have practice and experience now, at least scrimming with this patch.
Well, we can see right now, WE not changing too much as far as that ban list is concerned. Trundle and Nidalee going to be taken away. Of course, Trundle first pick worthy at the moment as Lucian, once again, blue side banned. Of course, RNG banned it away last time around, so not wanting to first pick it here for WE. As RNG now have a few options of things that they can take away.
But like, whilst RNG banned it last time, it was also blue side that did ban it. That is a great adaptation from RNG to close out the draft.
Yeah, Bard is going to be taken off the board. 0 MVP performance, get him off the champion that he did so well on. And look, once again, at least considering a lot of priority for this Rek'Sai, Condi's going to lock it away.
Yeah, she's standing out as a very important pick right now in the LPL. We've seen it as across the LCK also, I believe.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Rek'Sai has out of nowhere risen up to the top tier, and that's with basically no changes.
Yeah,
still goes Cinderhulk.
That changes to vision thing that Froskerin was talking about last night, like the fact that, you know, longer cooldowns on the scrying orbs means that you're not going to have as much vision around these big objectives that have become more important. That could be the thing, is RNG are going to take away the Maokai and the Sivir. Do like this. Make sure that Mystic is on a different champion.
There's
I
also
wanted to take the counter match.
There's also the thing we mentioned earlier, actually, before broadcast, is that when playing Rek'Sai, you don't necessarily need vision because you have Tremor Sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which makes life a lot easier for a Rek'Sai and for a team to work around that Rek'Sai and maneuver to objectives, with a lot of the focus now on Barons, Rift Heralds, Dragons, objectives in the middle of the map. She's got an invaluable asset with her passive.
Yeah. So, we'll see what WE decide to pick alongside her. It's Condi and GA now going to be picking a couple more options. Yeah, Azir could go into the hands of GA. He could go back towards a Victor as well. They could wait, grab their solo lanes a little bit later as Condi's having a look at the Braum. Again, the Nautilus flex pick here for 957. Feeling like the super tanks there towards the top side of the map, still feeling good. And 957 did sort of have an understated game last game, but did his job just fine.
Yeah, I think both tanks kind of did their job, and that's why it was understated, because neither of them really stood out.
Yeah.
It was the rest of the team standing out around them. But credit to 957, he held his own against Looper in what was an early game deficit through the lane swap. And he did what was required of him when it came to team fights.
I love this. If the Karma is going to be picked up, of course, can flex towards Xiaohu if he wants to. But Mata and Uzi will have probably the fastest lane in history towards the bottom side of the map. And this looks like a big adaptation towards 6.10 with this particular draft, especially if they lock away the Elise for a lot more early ganking power for everyone, as MLXG getting quite vocal there on the desk.
Yeah, they needed crowd control as well with this Karma being locked in. So it may not be reliable, but they do still have the Cocoon now for MLXG playing that Elise. Early pressure, as you mentioned, early ganking to potentially match that of Condi. Or at least to 1v1 him and fight him, which is why either that or the Lee Sin are arguably good options now.
Yeah.
As the Death Balls work their way around Summoner's Rift. There's some sick tattoos.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had tats.
Mystic actually looking to pick up a Twitch here as well, as Victor is a consideration for GA in the mid lane. I like the Twitch. Of course, Sivir, relatively easy lane for the little rat.
And if you're going to go the Twitch, I would still say Azir potentially a better option, but it'll still do its part in the way of an abundance of magic damage, and the Twitch will compensate very heavily with physical.
Yeah, well, RNG sort of positioning themselves for a very easy Azir pickup in the mid lane, if they would like to. Hovered now, see whether Mata locks that one in, but counter matchup here available for Xiaohu if he wanted to go for it. Mystic, of course, not opting into the Ezreal into the Sivir this time. And if they lock this in, I mean, RNG's comp just feels better. So much better than in game number one, in my personal and not all that valid opinion.
I mean, their game 1 team comp was still perfectly fine. I mean, they've changed out the AD carries, the jungle, and they've swapped mid laners as well as having a Karma in the mix, so their pick, and that is what it essentially would be. I would prefer this, because that would go all into the comp that they actually want. Oh, this was banned as well.
Yeah, Swain is actually going to be picked up. Xiaohu looking to play that one in the mid lane, and against a mage that is relatively immobile in the Victor. I feel like the never move will have to be flashed.
That's filthy.
But think about the amount of speed he'll have.
Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of positives to having
Turbo
that
Swain.
They also have a 1-3-1 as a possibility. They've got a big overbearing front line with a lot of close range carries, and Mystic does have the possibility of going off. And that's the only danger point that you'd have to look towards. But what it actually does, and what it actively forces out of CA, is to go cleanse, to get out of the never move, because if it ever hits you, you die.
Yeah.
That's just the way that Swain works in the middle lane. But it also means that you have a cleanse against the damage dealer, which backfires massively.
Well, we'll see exactly how this one's going to work. I do love the adaptation. Xiaohu now picking up Swain for the second time here in the LPL. First time we saw it was V playing it towards the top side, which was incredibly oppressive. Doubled the CS of his opponent, if we remember back. Mouse playing the Trundle, but easier lane. We'll see whether GA is going to be able to do it any better. The coaches shake hands. Let's head into game number 2. Yep, looks to me like we are going to have a pause to start this one off. A little bit unfortunately there, as we saw Looper on your screen, so we'll see exactly what the problem is. We'll try and get us back in a game as soon as possible. We did manage to have a full game without a pause last time around, so it's probably not too much. Of course, yesterday, a few of the pauses were due to some ping issues that people were having, so we'll see whether we are going to make sure that everything's going to be fine straight back onto the Rift. But Swain as the last pick. We didn't get to discuss it too much, Rusty. We'll see. What are you expecting out of the mid lane pickup? We did see it towards the top lane. Has a massive win rate at the moment up there, but how's the mid Swain?
I think it's the same as the top lane Swain, to be perfectly honest with you. So the rule of thumb now, we're on 6.9 and past it to 6.10, is Rod of Ages giving health back when you use mana, giving mana when you use health.
Yep.
Perfect for Swain. Like, it is the Swain item, and that was an expectation. Now they've given his ultimate to have flat health. He's going to be seen all the time. What I do expect is Rod of Ages into Spirit Visage, probably just as the item build. I think perhaps an adaptation to go into Abyssal if he needs resistances could be seen, because mid laners do more damage than top laners if you're looking to do that. But realistically, he's just going to be another tank. He is effectively the 6.10 Nautilus mid, I would imagine.
Oh, GA sort of like getting it thrown back into his face. We are onto the Rift, though, ladies and gentlemen, as RNG moving into the enemy jungle here, as Uzi just heading straight into Mystic. Gets one proc of the Boomerang there just a little bit, as Marta is going to make his way down as well. But Uzi aggressively moving forward. Love the Pack Sivir skin.
It's an okay skin.
What do you mean? It's the best skin in the game.
You kidding me? The Boomerang one is the best.
Oh, yeah, because it's an actual Boomerang.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Damn it. The validity of your argument is too strong. But actually, GA mixing things up as well. He's gone for Death via Touch on his Victor.
Yeah. Look.
I'm attempting to, yeah.
That's a thing that he has done. I'm not sure why it isn't a Thunderlords. Perhaps he wants more damage over time to match Xiaohu's, if I really wanted to go deep into something unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Xiaohu, as expected, will actually have the same Keystone Mastery, however. He has a lot of damage over time.
Yeah, of course. Swain always wanted to take that one.
Him.
Oh, Zero steals it away as WE say, nope, ain't no start for you. But lane swap is going to be answered here by WE.
Yeah, so take stock of what's actually happening in front of you as well, Atlas. This is a top laner and a support kind of working in tandem. but it means that Waterloo well and truly wanted to match it, and they match the experience as well, if not besting it, that 957's going to have.
Yeah, real cute.
But votes changed.
Yeah, WE pulling it back.
8%.
That's a 8% swing.
Doesn't sound like much, but as far as Chinese fans are concerned, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, all of the WE fans coming back now. Of course, they used to have a hell of a lot. It's a very popular team in China.
If I were an RNG fan, I would not have voted for them until the end of Game 1 as well.
Well, you can see the tanks just smacking each other here towards the bottom side of the map. WE doing their very best to pick up as much farm as they can as the Civ oppressively shoving the wave in. Yeah, MLXG, level 3, looking for the cocoon on a 957, just holding onto it. There's the flash. Probably could have held it a little bit longer there, but they get the summon spell. It's what they wanted.
Yeah, it was actually timed perfectly in the way of the flash because it was at the same time as the cocoon, which potentially could have been held on for a bit longer to force the flash. They get the result they were looking for. Condi's too low to do this, unless he has Smite.
He's level 2, smites the red buff. Is Mata actually looking to try and get on top of this? Oh my god, Condi! He's going to fall down. First ball goes to Xiaohu as he just sneakily throws a bird over the wall.
Yeah, and gets double buffs for his trouble as well. Definitely doesn't place a ward. And has a great time in this middle lane, honestly, because Xie...
That's going to be a hard enough lane as it is.
Yeah, good luck is all I can really say to the victor. Now that he's against this Swain, as levels start to actually come through, you'll find more and more strength in Xiaohu's hands.
Yep. Once again, RNG capitalizing on good movements from Mata. Making sure they know exactly what they can do. Teleport comes in from Looper to get himself back into this lane.
That was too much from Condi as well. Like, to be fair, we saw it happening. Like, we know that MLXG was on the bottom side of the map, so Condi tries to respond. But it's a Civ Karma. Like, there are very few situations where a Twitch or Braum can actually rotate and stop that from happening.
Yeah. Well, Focus Resolve comes in. Mystic gets stalled for a little bit, but you can see Zero doing his very best to try and stack up this concussive blows.
Mystic got out-traded, though.
Yeah.
You have to remember he's against the poke lane, so they can fight.
Oh, actually has to flash 2v2 here on the side of Mystic at the same time. Zero in trouble. Boomerang could have been held for a little bit longer, but really nice spell shield out of Uzi. Gives him all of that mana back, and they'll just continue shoving this one through. Backs have to come in, and WE struggling in this lane right now.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And they actually, by having to go back, put themselves even further behind. Just mentioned that they can't fight a 2v2, yet they tried. And needlessly tried. And we'll stay on top of that. And they pay for it, as MLXG's even here.
Yeah, there's the Flash Cocoon. MLXG actually looking to pick this one up. Easy pickings for the Spider Lady.
He has boots of mobility. That makes a lot of sense as to why he got the kill, but I have no idea why he had mobility boots.
Well, they just paid off. Exactly right. Steals a Grump with him as well. Actually doesn't use the boots for that. As Condi takes a cheeky auto attack from Uzi.
But he's going to get dove.
Yeah, he's actually going to flash underneath as well, as there's the repel. So MLXG keeps himself safe. And Uzi doesn't pick up the tower aggro. Nicely played by Condi, though. It was very cute.
Actually getting a positive summoner trade from it, all things considered. So Condi makes the best of a very bad situation.
Yeah.
This is why you don't go for mobility boots when you're playing Elise. The thing is, and like...
He's looking to get Cloud Drakes, man. Look, Cloud Drake is going to spawn first.
That is quite amusing.
Imagine all of the out-of-combat movement speed.
No, that is actually very amusing. Of all the Drakes that could spawn, perhaps that is MLXG's.
He would have seen that at the very beginning.
I know.
mean, oh.
What I'm saying is perhaps that is MLXG's strategy. I was actually trying to have the same point as you.
Yeah, no, good. Sorry, just overly excited. Massively high degree.
And the reason that I would imagine he also can afford to go for it is the changes to experience gain from jungle items, where he had the Hunter's Talisman, and actually gives full experience for camp clears as well, so you don't need both aspects.
Teleport coming in. They're looking to capitalize on the lack of flash from Mystic, who does have the ambush, but the vision is all there, and Xiaohu just says, you ain't never moving. And Uzi picks up the kill. Both carries grabbing stuff. Of course, MLXG getting one as well, so RNG off to a phenomenal start this game.
Yeah, the Catalyst picked up and even a Null Magic Mantle for the teleport mid laner in Xiaohu. And this has just gone from bad to worse. It feels like they've just awoken the beast in RNG.
Oh, yeah.
And they come into game 2 and they just start destroying
Yep, and it's not over yet here at 0. He's going to get stalled out. GA is going to try and get over there, but Mantra oh my god. Okay, Mata would have almost killed him there with the second proc. There's Laser Bird. It's being frustrating again.
Yeah, he's in a very poor position here, GA. There is nothing that he can do to get himself back in this lane. He just wants to farm. And honestly, Swain's not going to let him farm for too long. But that's the only victory that you'll get, is Loop is actually in a weird spot.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble there. It's Mystic. Yeah, trying to gank this lane. 957 taking a lot of damage, but in goes Condi.
He should, yeah.
Yeah, Looper turning things around. He gets a heal. So, I mean, that's good. But Mystic is going to be able to lock that one in with the Contaminate. WE at least grabs something on the board here towards the bottom side.
They collect some pennies as a payment to Mystic for having a very bad time in his top lane, respectively.
Yeah.
Uzi and Marta now have free reign. So does MLXG, it seems.
Yeah, as there's the Chaos Storm, has to use the Repel as MLXG is trying to get out. Nice Mantra E is going to help out there as well with the shield. GA survives for now, but gets a teleport out of 957.
Who wanted to be top lane, you would imagine, given where the lane assignments are. So he's going to miss all of that farm under the turret. And RNG now pull further ahead by forcing summoner spells, getting more CS, everything going well.
Yeah, and with the fact that Uzi now has a lead here towards the top side, he's going to try and take down this turret against 957, and Mata has been unlocked to run around this map, and it's always good news if Mata gets freedom. See what they are going to use it for at the moment, just hanging around towards the bottom side jungle of RNG.
I just can't believe he has boots of mobility.
I like it.
So ballsy. The sad thing is the second he got them, he got the kill. Like, the best thing that you could do right now, if you were RNG, is make sure that turret falls. He was ideally trying to get it to reset the minions, but one minion's okay. Like, it will eventually push back from World Elite. Uzi should now recoil, look towards Dragon with the rest of his team.
Well, Laserbird
Really doesn't want to, though. He wants to get ganked. He's baiting it. He seriously is baiting it. There's no spell shield. That's it.
Yeah, there's the On the Hunt. In goes the Cocoon, though. Condi taking some damage. Flash out from Uzi. Will be able to turn this one around, but maybe a little bit overly aggressive.
And now I don't think he was baiting it. I actually just think he is being silly. Like, MLXG was baiting him. Like, I think that's the best case scenario, is that nobody died, but you don't use a spell shield for a Riptide's third proc if you're baiting.
Wanted to get himself some mana back.
He absolutely wanted to die. But he didn't, thankfully. The same LXG was indeed there.
Very true. Well, that null magic mantle for Xiao, who was turned into some Mercury Treads. So, still not sure whether he's going for that Abyssal Scepter as his next item, as he's now moving in towards the bottom side, red side jungle for WE.
The issue is that 10 minutes in the game, Xiaohu's roaming and cannot be killed. I don't think there is a single member of World Elite that could kill him yet. It would take at least 3 of them, and one of them would have to be Mystic.
Laserbird being frustrating there for GA to deal with, but not doing a whole lot of damage. No AP actually built yet, apart from that one Doran's Blade for Xiaohu.
For what it's worth, he's still getting farm on the Twitch. My Uzi is not too far ahead.
Yeah, really true.
Surprisingly.
Escaping that sort of lane, which is really nice. Look at all of the vision put down by Mata alone.
And those awards killed as well from the looks of it.
Yep. All over the place as Mata
he has actually gone from top to bottom. Lots of map movement and RNG. We've always said work around Mata. He tells them what to do, where to go, when to go there.
Yeah, zoning never move came in there. Of course, Condi was waiting in the wings. Hanging out towards the top side. You can see Tower falls on the bottom side of the map. MLXG is here as well. And WE saying, well, let's just move everyone towards the top side. See whether we can trade this one out. They still have a relatively big creep wave, as they're going to try and clear out this vision as well. GA and Xiaohu just battling one another.
Yeah, Xiaohu's actually got, like, near dive threat. He just doesn't have enough ability power to make it work. But RNG are, speaking of making it work,
so far ahead.
They're not going to get it until the next wave. There it is.
Yeah,
a lot of damage.
Uzi will be able to grab that one. We'll see whether WE are going to be able to answer. Looks like they will with 4 men up here.
Yep.
But just an even trade.
Of the extra person, though, is perhaps the difference, as Loop is kind of just hanging out.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for RNG, the trade is evened out in a situation where you would imagine they should have actually been ahead because of how fast they were to get there.
Better positioning now on the Dragon, though, for RNG if they do want to go for it. They have pinged it out. Lots of pings towards the bottom side of the map. Is MLXG already there? Xiaohu with his control in the mid lane means that they will have an opportunity to do this. And Cloud Drake going to be started here for MLXG, so I like it. Just start prioritizing the Dragon, please.
Yeah, and it goes to show how much effort they put towards going for the Dragon as well. It was a slow and arduous decision for them to make, but due to mid lane's control, due to Xiaohu actually having that ability to zone away CA, they can take it freely, opposed to contested at all.
I'm looking forward to when MLXG gets hovered over and we see that movement speed number. You know, extra 15 as well as the... mobility boots as well.
Yeah, mobility. He's got the Cloud Drake. He's got the, from his Runic Echoes that gives him the move speed. Aether Wisp.
Yeah. Very true. Little cheeky 7% or so, something like that.
Yeah. The biggest deal right now, though, is that Rod of Ages. 2,600 as well. It's a bit cheaper now. Oh, my God.
Yeah, MLXG's going to
And he has a Karma and a Sivir.
Yeah, precisely. This guy's going fast.
In terms of RNG dragons that RNG could have RNG'd.
What?
They got themselves the best one for their team composition. I think besides perhaps the Cloud.
Yep.
The Ocean.
Well, WE now poking their heads around. MLXG and Mata, best friends club. We did see used to such great effect in the games that they managed to win at MSI.
The rule of thumb is they're not best friends. It's a dictatorship.
Well, that's a good point.
Mata says do red buff and hits
are like that, you know? Do the red buff. Come on.
Look at the pings. He really wants to go in. There's the teleport to flank, actually.
Yeah, in goes Looper straight away. Actually, a Zero. He's in a bunch of trouble. Does use the W to stand behind his friend. And there's the ultimate in as well. Xiaohu just zoning everyone away. Yep, I think that they've at least managed to take the red buff. That is very true. As Condi can't grab it. MLXG had to smite that one away, though. That is important.
Now they're working towards bottom, which is a very weird place to be. I would not bother, honestly. MLXG.
Yeah, he's going to get double knocked up here from Condi and 957. The rest of RNG have collapsed. Condi in trouble. There's the flash forward from Uzi. Wants the kill. Picks it up there as well. As Death Ray doesn't snag him for the second time. Mata in trouble. GA is going to grab it with the Chaos Stormers down. Mystic flashing forward. Never move. Not going to quite find him.
Got the red buff on him.
Yeah, Xiaohu running away. Ravenous Flock is going to be there, but look at the Laser Bird doing some work. Looper! What are you doing, buddy? Is GA in a whole host of trouble? Mystic over the top. Looper now being a big front line. And RNG ain't finished.
No, they're not done. Looper, of course, makes his way back into the fray. That was unusually a good fight for World Elite because the way that it was executed was in a choke point where they could benefit the most from Braum's zoning capabilities, from the Nautilus knock-up and displacement as well. And a lot of the focus went onto Condi. You have to remember as a tank jungler, so the same damage going onto MLXG as it is Condi doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
And the Swain just did not get a whole lot done. Like, yeah, he did the most damage in that fight. That's not much damage because even the person he's been beating,
yeah, 800
him.
less than GA, who does have a perfect hex core that he rushed. And what we mentioned last game comes into effect beautifully here for this item. So I like the fact that he's grabbed it immediately. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Perfect hex score, boom, straight away. At Chaos Storm, actually able to do a lot of work.
I feel like I lost the joke in the context of the don't pass go there.
Yeah, I don't know, I just like to make Monopoly references when I can. It's one of those things.
I was going to say, I don't understand where Go came into that one, but you're right. I think in regards to Victor and Twitch as champions and their team fighting capabilities, they would suit the best case scenario damage over time.
Yeah.
Slowly whittling down opponents, finding the perfect opportunity for Mystic to use his, what is still spray and pray, how dare you.
Oh, actually, wow. Look at all this movement speed into the mid lane. Zero stopping it in its tracks with his ultimate. Has never moved, not going to find any targets. Laserbird doing some work, but this tower just going to get obliterated. Nicely done from RNG, and look, they know that they just press their move fast buttons.
Herald.
Things work well.
Yeah, that felt like the inevitable fate of the mid lane turret, however. They rotate there quicker, they get things done quicker. 957 is...
Oh, look at these pings. Mata is right here. Twisted Advance on top of him as well. As Looper just trying to keep him busy. Does have to flash out of the way. Xiaohu, yeah, not Zero.
He didn't need to flash.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you just fight him?
He did get ignited by Zero.
Yep, very good
So
point.
sustain could have been lacking.
Tremor Sensor spotted him out, though, as Preyseeker does let everyone know that Xiaohu has been seen.
Big thing to note as well is you would imagine Morello's and Last Whisper that reduces the healing as well to apply Grievous Wounds is essential against this Swain.
Yeah,
almost
very true.
forces itemization out of certain champions.
No one actually on their way to picking that one up yet. And looks like Xiaohu's actually going towards the very old Swain build of Rod of Ages into the Zhonya's Hourglass. Was, of course, always what the Swains like to pick up,
So
ideally.
they'll always still get it. Oh, the question was build order.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
Spirit Visage is still an invaluable asset for a Swain to pick up, especially against a 1 Ignite team, to put it in perspective.
Seems interesting that the itemization for Swain actually hasn't changed at all, even though a lot of these mage items have changed. It's just the items that he always would buy have now become better.
Look, I don't think many items in terms of build path have really changed. They've just changed the ones that were good to be better.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I cannot think of a situation besides perhaps Rumble where I would go for a Proto Belt.
Oh, Swain with a Proto Belt.
So that's what I was thinking, and then I immediately rubbed it out of my mind. And I was like, no, Condi.
Yeah, Nevermove comes in. He's taking a lot of tormented damage here as well. Ravenous Fox not quite able to take him down. Very tanky is Condi. The Rek'Sai being relatively impressive so far. Not necessarily this game, but definitely game number 1. He's streaming ahead in the farm.
But this is the unfolding of both teams now in this series. As RNG have found themselves with a lead, they are controlling the Dragons, and as such, I'm looking at closing out the game through the Dragons again.
Yeah, well, look, it was WE that was in control of this buff last time around, but now RNG grabbed the first 2 very, very quickly and effectively. That's Infernal Drake, definitely a good one as we move later and later as far as that scaling is concerned. And when they do have champions that can use these flat stats quite nicely, looking at Uzi mostly, is very important.
Problem here for World Elite is that they can't split push, but Xiaohu and Lupa can. And so the 1-3-1 is always going to be an opportunity for RNG to put into effect, whereas answering it is a matter of putting a very important resource into a position that could be very detrimental to the team.
Yeah, really true. Well, RNG now moving around the enemy jungle. Brambleback, once again, being turbed out of his pit. Condi going to at least smite it, but doesn't actually manage to steal it away. I believe Uzi got it.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
I don't think Conti could get in range to even use this.
No, he smited.
He did, yeah. There you go.
He got his health back.
I was
and he's
giving
like,
it benefit
"Oh,
of the doubt
damn."
as well. It's like, surely.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. No one gets Harold.
Yeah. See you later, Harold. 20-minute
the
buff.
healthy Herald.
Not going to happen this time around. Of course, no one really looking to split push as their main option when you've got these super tanks towards the top side of the map.
But we saw it on MLXG last time, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
It's still
true.
just an extra bit of power and gold that goes to everybody that's now just gone awry.
Well, RNG, they have managed to finish off the 2 items in the mid lane. Xiaohu now with the Zhonya's completed. Uzi looking for item number 2. We'll see whether he goes for Phantom Dancer, which is what Mystic went for last game. Whether it is going to be the Shiv continuing to wave clear things effectively. Swain not offering quite as much, and yeah, you're right. So Static Shiv has come in. And I do like it, the fact that they are lacking a little bit in the wave clear department.
I would imagine the big thing World Elite on the flip side are looking for as well is the Runan's Hurricane.
Yeah.
Once they get that on Twitch, they can do a lot of damage in team fights. Jia is always going to be doing his job as he has finished his items respectively.
This is going to be the Crystal Twitch build as well that we saw from yesterday. Saw a couple. Pentakill decided to go for the Ghost Blade, but Mystic opting in to that Blade of the Ruin King, much like Crystal did.
And I agree with this build simply because he's against a lot of health stacking tanks.
Xiaohu just not caring at all what 957 does.
Swain.
Yeah.
Swain. Why did we do this to you?
Rusty questioning himself a little bit.
There's no bad experiences that I've had. What are you talking about?
Don't know. Not talking about anything.
I can kill Swain. What are you talking about? It's fine. Everything's fine.
Anyone can kill Swain. It's not really difficult to kill. He doesn't just press Zhonya's and get all of his health back in a team fight. No ridiculousness like that.
Speaking of which is why I would suggest Spirit Visage as his next item, because you get yourself low, you Zhonya's, and you get all of your health back.
Yeah.
As you get increased healing from all sources.
And it means that extra, 2 seconds of stasis equates to about 400 health or something, depending on how many people are around you.
It's also why Olaf is a silly champion, because you can press your W when you pop a potion and have a Spirit Visage. And the increased healing from that potion makes it like 1.5.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Means nothing, but it's great.
Another move comes in, 957. Not moving a whole lot, but is still moving.
Xiaohu has no mana pool to work with, and that's the real issue for the Swain. If he wants to fight 957 and try and push the Nautilus out of lane, he needs a blue buff, which thankfully he has right now. That will inevitably run out, as will the bonus AP that he gets from that.
Now, is he actually looking to try and put a dent into the bottom side of the map? But they have already taken down that turret. So RNG probably need to move their sieging capabilities around this map.
Yeah, I also think that Uzi was in a position that the team didn't want him to be in. He just rotated after clearing the middle lane to kind of have a look at bottom and see if he could get his eye in there.
Just see what's up.
Yeah, maybe put some damage down and say hello to 957. Because Baron is definitely where MLXG and Marta are putting all of their attention in the way of vision control, even just movement around the map and denying World Elite the position.
Yeah, WE also recognizing that that could be a point of power. They are positioning themselves all the way up there. Twitch is hilarious. Ambush has been popped here as well. Mystic looking for a position. Repel immediately used there from MLXG, who gets himself out. That is a Chaos Storm flash out of the way, but massive Glacial Fissure here as Looper well and truly in the backline. 957 doing his best tank impression at the same time. Looper is finally going to fall down, but can Uzi get the work done? Xiaohu's just gigantic. They've got another tank. Don't worry about it, guys. The backup tank right there in the backline. Uzi as well, barely even needed.
Xiaohu takes almost no damage from most of that fight, and yes, it was Looper tanking, as was 957. It's still a 2-for-0 trade, however, for World Elite.
They still have to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, but they don't exactly win the fight. They can't get anything from it. And this, once again, choke point fighting. World Elite's exact forte, what they want to do with the team composition. The Twitch, he was locked down by Looper, and yes, most of the damage dealt in that fight from Mystic was to Looper. But the Victor just sits there, puts the Chaos Storm down, maybe throws a laser in the chokehold. Yep. And it's simply because Zero is setting them up with 957.
The Glacial Fissure was beautiful in that fight.
Yeah, exactly. That and the Nautilus knock-up as well, keeping everybody in an area that's going to take damage from the Victor. This is something that was missing in that last game, but I feel like it's a team composition thing.
Yeah, well, RNG not quite able to win the fight necessarily. Let's see whether they can gather things back. Xiaohu building towards an Abyssal Scepter by the looks of things for item number 2, as the Negatron Cloak as well as another Fiendish Codex.
Yeah, getting cooldown reduction, which is missing from his boots as well because he went for Max, but also stacking resistances. I still question his mana pool.
Yeah.
It will start to run out. If a team fight extends, which is actually what World Elite want to do, right, and something that we've alluded towards now multiple times, they want extended duration fights. Swain will run out of mana by the extension.
Well, Ocean Drake is going to be taken for free here by WE. RNG deciding not to actually contest that despite having full vision of the area.
And once again, that's perfect in terms of Drakes that World Elite could get. Extend the fight, kite back, deny the mana regeneration from Xiaohu that we just said was missing.
Yeah. Well, in goes the Mantrid Q. RNG actually looking for a fight here as MLXG right in the front line on the hunt has been popped. We'll see whether Uzi can get some damage down.
957.
Quite far away from this as Nevermove heads down on top of 957. He's in so much trouble. Zero as well. The tanky members of WE are melting in this fight, but look at the damage Mystic's capable of. The Chaos Storm also doing a lot of work. Another slow comes in. MLXG creating room, but look at the Nevermove Mystic. He's going to fall down. Uzi grabs the kill. Xiaohu grabs one at the same time. 957 running. RNG looking for the Baron.
Yeah, they can go straight to that Baron. Whilst their health bars are in fact low, they've got a Swain, so it shouldn't matter. Oh, I think Condi's actually going to cause some problems here, though.
Yeah, Uzi trying to turn this one around to Zero. He's got a Winter's Bite to throw out. It takes a boomerang to the head. Yeah, flash forward. Oh my god, Uzi. It's a lot of damage.
2 hits, 2 crits.
Yeah, he's on a rampage. Better players crit more, you know that, right?
They can't Baron now. If they do, of course, Condi will have his ultimate, so he'll just come straight back out. Let's just revel in the needless health regeneration that Swain always has.
Balance, balance, balance. Feel it. See what he's going to be able to pick up for himself.
A circus. And they have beams for that.
He's a tightrope walker. But you can see probably just about ready to grab himself the Abyssal Scepter, which is why I wanted that next wave. We'll see whether they set up for another fight around this Baron area.
Still positive for RNG this time around. However, the tower was still taken by World Elite, so they're getting some gold in the back pocket. Promising signs from a losing team in game number 2.
Yeah.
They're still waiting on big item spikes. They can't kill that Swain yet. And whilst it's MR actually stacked, it's still a Rylai's being done by CA because he needs that crowd control to slow them consistently because they just want to keep Mystic alive. If ever there was a time for Mystics to step up to the plate, it's now.
Damn right. That being said, his opposite number, Uzi, just finished his Infinity Edge. There's Siva. This is her spike. This is what she feels good in.
Yeah, I wonder how much money Mystic has.
Yeah, probably wants to be able to grab an IE pretty quickly.
Yeah, the question is, does he sell the cull to get it, or just to get an item in between it, like perhaps the pickaxe or the crit cloak? He's recalling now, so we'll see.
So whether he can actually afford it. If he can get the Infinity Edge here, that could be a very big deal for WE.
Yeah, and like an outright buy of that is like a lot of money, so no, he's not going to be able to.
Yeah, not quite. So, does have a Cloak of Agility. Bit of extra critical chance will be good, but nowhere near the effectiveness.
Do you find it weird that a Cloak of Agility is its name, but it gives crit, not attack speed or move speed?
Yeah, but if you've played any other games that involve agility or dexterity, you know, they often give you critical strike at the same time. Going back to like D&D rules and things like that.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, we just admitted our nerdiness pretty effectively there.
Well,
I also
knows
loved
how fun it
sports.
is.
Loved sports a lot. Yeah.
How's them OKC, by the way? Spawn will be happy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, basketball. Yeah.
Oh, look, I was serious about that one.
Yeah, I was seriously not knowing anything. That's Stephen Curry guy's pretty good.
Oh, God.
RNG, though, setting up some vision around this Baron. You can see there is a ward that has spotted them at least. There's MLXG trying to use that Raptor sense to clear things out.
Sorry, you tilted me by saying Stephen.
Stephen. Is it Stephen?
Steph.
No, it's Stephen Curry, right. Tilts everyone, though. It's
yeah,
brilliant.
I know.
So good. WE, they are in a decent position to try and get something done. Xiaohu getting caught.
Wow.
Yeah, everything being thrown down here as he uses the Zhonya's. Look at the amount of health he's going to get back. Really mistimed dredge line there out of 957. Never moved. Going to cause him to stop.
Well, we just saw a glimpse into how much damage CA still does. And that's an MR stacked Swain.
Yeah.
Whilst his sustain is definitely high, I mean, he got a lot of health back from the Raptors as well as the Victor when he used that Zhonya's. Means he's definitely still killable. The tank is not exactly a tank if he has nothing to heal off.
Well, that's all of his health back now. As the siege is on. Mata and Uzi with a lot of movement speed available.
Nobody's
957 gets a massive knock up into the backline, but RNG still very healthy. Xiaohu right in the front line is going to get thrown back into that gravity field. Zero's going to die. Uzi picks up the kill. This Infinity Edge is doing so much work as Lupa grabs another. The turret is not long for the world. Uzi finishes that one off at the same time, and WE, base has been broken towards the bottom side.
Mystic was farming top, so it's just a very quick rotation from RNG, and they pull the trigger very effectively. If the Twitch isn't there, RNG have control, and now that there's 2 dead, they definitely still do.
Welcome back, Xiaohu. Can teleport his way in. Home guards as well, and that is the inhibitor dead. So Baron inhibitor, my god, they've got so much extra control. And this dragon spawning, 20 seconds.
The last of its kind, whichever it may be.
The last of its kind.
As the Elder will spawn at 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like if I talk with a deep voice at all, I am a voiceover.
I feel like it's just Skarner now.
What was the intro video for Uzi? What did they say? We come, we go.
Oh, I don't know. I was too busy being intimidated.
We go.
It was beautiful. Ocean Drake number 2.
There you go.
Coming up here. WE, of course, were able to grab their first one of that particular variety. Cloud Drake and Infernal Drake in the hands of RNG.
So Condi, before we actually look for any contest, you have to remember he is the King of Thieves.
He is.
The Prince of Persia of League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything that he can steal on the map, it's usually an epic monster. He's on the wrong side of the map this time around, however.
Void Rush in there. doesn't actually have too many tunnels towards this side, so MLXG will be able to grab that one.
They're
trying to catch them all right now. Only need a mountain.
So Mountain doesn't actually spawn.
Yeah, not going to happen.
And I mean, it won't actually spawn. There's 3 elements that spawn in any one game.
Ah, you can only have 3 elements.
Yeah. So they've got all of the elements. Except the Mountain. Close enough.
WE setting up. Raptor Sense going to go off. Condi going to be able to clear out a ward. It's now RNG. Will probably want to move towards the Baron. Exactly right. They've grabbed the most recent dragon. Still 6 minutes on that. And RNG. Uzi just throwing out boomerangs. He's just celebrating. This is beautiful.
Uzi wants to do this. Like,
This is a 100% crit chance Sivir as well because of the Zeke's Harbinger.
Oh yeah, the occasional 100% crit that he will have is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Actually.
Just understand where you're going to press that W. As
Mata.
Mata, yeah, possibly caught out of position. Focus Resolve comes in. Condi slowed down as
And
the teleport's coming in right in the flank. Yeah, Mystic can't actually get into this fight. Has never moved. Flashed out of the way of WE. Have consolidated their members. But that is a teleport to answer.
But they're fine, right? And that's the big deal. They are still here if they want to contest this. That cheeky ward is going to spot that they're doing the Baron. And whilst it's cleared, they are going to face check.
Yeah.
They have to.
Never Move comes in. A lot of movement speed now available here for RNG. As Uzi right in the back line. Big knock up there from Zero one more time. As, yeah, exactly. Rat-a-tat-tat doing some work. 957 melting, though, as Mystic's been caught out. Uzi grabs it. It's a double already as he's so incredibly low. Gets a triple. Isn't going to fall down as 957's running as best he can. Actually, no, he does. Chaos Storm is enough to finish him off, but RNG say, yep, we got enough. And my God, the City just
look to
so
end.
much work. Exactly, just wander through the bottom side. They got Super Creeps doing some work.
So the Nautilus and Braum still stand, and it is going to be a 3v2, but it's a top laner and a support against these members of RNG that I would say there is a very low chance of killing any of them. And if they can hold the fort here...
Actually, it's only one Nexus turret that falls down. Not wanting to try and grab the next one. This Never Move somehow hits the gigantic form of Nautilus.
Yeah, so they do well, World Elite, to not actually lose more than that. The Baron stands. World Elite's base does still stand. That inhibitor was already taken, and you would imagine will be up reasonably soon, though.
MLXG caught out of position here as well. 957 and Condi, not a lot of damage there, but a lot of lockdown is available. We'll see whether the Lease is going to survive here. Mata is running as quickly as possible, but 957 grabs it. That could be a very powerful pick-off for WE.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about this situation in the game is with one Nexus turret already dead, they still have to address the bottom lane minions because they will actually win the game. World Elite, they're actually looking to fight.
Yeah, going in. Looper, decent in the front line there. There's the flash, but it's before the Twisted Advance goes off. Looper has to be very careful. Concussive blows in there. Has another Twisted Advance. Mystic in trouble now as Condi's taken down Looper, but has the damage been done? Chaos Storm moved out of the way up there from Uzi, still at full health right now. As GA right in the front line, he's in trouble. Another auto attack from Uzi will do it. Death Ray for a lot of damage. Dodges out of the way of at least one. Has a spell shield there as well, but it's a nice fight from WE.
They get the kills at the perfect time because they have to hold the fort. Something that we just mentioned is these minions are going to be able to take the game out if they don't recall. So, yeah, the desperate fight works out impeccably for them. No Last Whisper even available for Mystic, but it just doesn't matter. He's still shredding Looper's health bar, and that's so surprising.
After that fight, Uzi had 2,800 gold to spend, which is really scary, Rusty.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. He's been doing a lot of work here, Uzi.
Has himself a Bloodthirster now. Complete those 4 items as well as the Last Whisper.
And the next dragon as well up in a minute 50. It's going to be the Elder. This is where it becomes crunch time now for most teams.
MLXG also able to steal away a blue buff. So getting in his mediocre AP a little bit of a boost.
Void Staff now as well for GA. Also we're pointing out very important things.
Yeah, very true. Infinity Edge also done for Mystic, which is good.
Oh my God.
Yeah. A lot of movement speed on the hunt has been popped. GA is the one that's been caught out of position. Gets the Chaos Storm down. It's a lot of damage. Brilliant use of the ultimate comes in from 957, though. And Mata is going to pay the price.
Surprisingly, they trade. But it's Mata for GA. And this means that we're expecting a monumental effort out of Mystic. And it's against the Maokai.
Yeah.
No summoner spells available as well for the Rat.
Oh, Xiaohu just stopped. He knows that he can't move.
Yeah, they're going to have to... They have to fight this. There's a ward in it, so they can see the health bar. Very cheeky ward.
It is a very cheeky ward. Zero is going to get spotted out of the way there. Condi, of course,
go.
the Prince of Thieves. Can he do it? No, RNG are actually just going to turn on this one. There's the Never Move. Zero locked down, but he may not necessarily be the priority target. Mystic right in the back line. Can he get the work done? So much rat-a-tat-tat damage, but he is going to fall in the end. Uzi with the Bloodthirster able to eat up the health bars of WE. And they've only got one left standing. Can they get any more this time?
Mystic tried his hardest, but it's not going to be enough. He's just too far behind. His last buy that he now has in his inventory may not be enough to save World Elite, as Xie is thankfully alive because he was dead for the fight.
Yeah, good point.
And that was probably the difference between potentially coming out ahead in it and losing.
Well, you can see
Zonia's needs to stop.
Yep, Creep Wave is coming in. Decided I wanted to ignore that Zonia's sound as 957. He's going to be the target. RNG just deciding to take down what they can. Xiaohu now as well, knocked up into the sky as GA on his fountain, but is it going to be enough? Flashes the Never Move. There's now MLXG and Uzi fighting in the fountain. They are doing battle right now as they tie up the series against WE.
Impressive tie-up from RNG. They came out guns blazing in game number 2.
Severely.
Yeah, and they put in work. Uzi showing that he has what it takes to keep up with this RNG side that he has newly joined.
Yeah.
And RNG, I'd say an across-the-board victory from this team because they went through team play.
And a lot of things actually made sense out of game number 1 here. The early pickup of the Sivir, taking that away from Uzi after this game, looks like a very good idea. Of course, Uzi was a player that sort of picked up Sivir relatively late, but then was incredibly dominant when she was hitting sort of her peak stride after that the crit chance was added to a Ricochet. So we are going to see some of the highlights here, but yeah, it's just really good to see. Of course, the Swain ban as well, making a heck of a lot of sense after seeing Xiaohu 3-0-11 on the champion, unable to die.
Yeah, well, Swain on this patch definitely unable to die is the way to summarize his capabilities as a champion. And again, this is the glimmers of hope that World Elite had throughout this game, but too little too late was the name of it.
Yeah.
As they just could not get it done.
Get in there, Looper. Flash Twisted advance, but doesn't finish GA off with the Ventral Maelstrom, which was very interesting at that stage. But here it is. Another really, really good fight out of Zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Sets up the Glacial Fissure in a really brilliant point, allows them to deal with Looper. So WE, there are so many signs of hope. It just seemed like RNG, with all of their dragons, with the fact that they had so much scaling power and this unkillable Swain that you can see right now, just utilizing what they had a whole lot better in game number 2 than they did in game number 1.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the drafting from RNG, I would have to say, in the first game was denying options, perhaps, from World Elite.
Yeah.
They realized when they're one game down, they should probably just play their own game of League of Legends. That's exactly what we saw from them, because no one could kill Xiaohu. Nobody could deal with Uzi, whose damage was just unbelievably high. Everything that RNG did this time around was marked improvement.
Yeah, and I really liked the switch over to Karma from the Alistair there as well, because Marta just looked brilliant. He was sort of orchestrating fights, giving everyone so much movement speed. It was really, really great to see. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a short break, and when we get back, the deciding game between RNG and WE.